Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping by to learn more about Nova Southeastern University. We are a private selective research university in the state of Florida, which you can see here on the map in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see a map of the United States, and you can see where Florida is located. So it's one of the southernmost states. I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with Florida. Because it's where Disney's located in Orlando, and plus where Miami is located. So I know a lot of you probably go to Miami for vacation or might even have family there. And so a little bit of facts about NSU. We have about 4,500 undergraduate students, making us a medium-sized university in the U.S. And just as a point of reference, in the U.S., there are universities that have under 1,000 students, and then there's universities that have, like 60,000 students that are like small cities. So we're somewhere in the middle. And we have a very diverse student body. We have students from over 100 countries. So there's students from all over the world. And as you can imagine, there are quite a few from Latin America, from Central America, South America, and the Caribbean, because it's a great location and lots of flights in and out of Fort Lauderdale and Miami from Latin America. Another nice fact is we have an average class size of about 17 students per class. And that means you're going to get a lot of access to your professors, which is it's a really fantastic way to kind of personalize your education. You'll get to stop by your classes afterwards, talk to your professors. They'll have office hours, and so you'll be able to go and get to know them a little bit more and have them get to know you a little bit more as well. We also have athletics, which we'll be getting into shortly. And we have about 50 different undergraduate majors, another thing that we will get into here in a moment. And, just one other quick fact is our average temperature is about 25 degrees Celsius. So it's nice, warm weather. We're located very close to the beach. Campus is about 10 minutes away from the beach. And we are about 20 minutes or so away from Miami. So again, it's a really nice location in the U.S. Just a little bit about the campus itself. It is a really beautiful campus, palm trees, really nice new modern buildings and athletic facilities. And I think what's really great for international students is we have what's called the Shark Shuttle. And the Shark Shuttle is a free bus system for NSU students that will help you get around campus and even off campus on weekends if you wanted to go to downtown Fort Lauderdale or go to the supermarket or something like that. You would be able to do that. You do not need a car to get off campus and explore South Florida. And there's very good public transportation in South Florida. There's a train that can take you down to Miami. So it's very easy to get around and explore all of the great things that South Florida offers. So you won't just be stuck on campus for your 4 years at NSU. That's really important. I think another thing to point out is, and this won't really come across in the presentation, but if you ever get the chance to visit campus, or hopefully if you become a student at NSU, I think you'll notice right away that it's a very warm and welcoming and friendly campus. And that's important for all students, but particularly if you're coming from another country, because it's kind of a scary thing to do. A lot of students, when they first come, are very, very nervous about it, but very quickly students will feel at home just because everyone is so friendly. You walk across campus and people say hello, they smile. Other students are very welcoming, and that's important because this will be your home for 4 years. So again, I mentioned previously that we have about 50 different undergraduate majors to choose from. There are 2 slides, so if you don't see what you want, we do have majors after the eyes. I'll show those to you in a moment. But some of the most popular majors that we have for South America anyway are business. I have a lot of students who are interested in business. And another really popular major, I'm not sure how much interest there would be there in Peru, but we have a lot of we have one of the best marine biology programs in the state of Florida. And so we do get a lot of students from around the world that come to study marine biology. But as you can see, we have pretty much something for everybody. We have the pre-professional programs if you want to go on to be a dentist, a lawyer, a doctor, a pharmacist, etc. So there are quite a few options. We also have a lot of ways to get engaged on campus. And I think this is one of the great things about US universities is that it's not just about the classroom and studying. In US universities, you're going to be living on campus at least your first year. After that, you can get an apartment, but you'll still be living very close to campus. And outside of the classroom, you're going to have a really rich social life. And there are lots of ways to get involved in campus. As you can see, there are over 120 clubs and organizations that you can join. And those can range from intramural sports, which are just for fun, guys against girls on the weekends. Club sports are a little bit more competitive. We have Greek life, which is fraternities and sororities, which you might have seen in movies. And then there are pre-professional societies that tie into your major. There are chances to volunteer in the community. And then there are clubs that are fun clubs. You know, there's video game clubs, there's Latin American student clubs, and you can create your own club. So if you have an interest, you can find 6 other students and a faculty advisor that will help you start that club, and you can start your own. So that gives you a chance to get involved in the campus community outside of the classroom. Another really cool thing is that our students can attend Miami Dolphins home games for free. The Miami Dolphins are a football team. It's American football, not soccer. You can see the stadium here in the middle of the screen at the bottom. But going to a football game, an American football game, is kind of the quintessential American experience. So you definitely should take advantage of that during your time at NSU. And then, of course, there are always events going on. There's Homecoming, Sharkapalooza, Community Fest, which are big kind of fun festivals to get involved in. But all throughout the school year, there are smaller events that are going on and lots of ways for you to meet people. Which, of course, meeting people is something, if you're a student coming from another country, going back to it can be a little scary. But very quickly at NSU, you're going to make lots of friends because there's so many ways for you to get involved in campus. As I mentioned previously, we do have athletics. We are NCAA Division II. And what that means is that we do offer athletic scholarships. And you can see here these sports that we offer. Tennis, track and field, and volleyball, they're kind of in the middle. Those are just for women's sports. But you can see the sports that we do have here. Just a little bit of explanation of how that works. If you are interested in playing a sport and getting an athletic scholarship, that will go directly through the coaches themselves. You can go to the athletics website, which is nsusharks.com. Find your sport, and each sport will have a link to a questionnaire that you can send to the coach to start a conversation about possibly being on the team or getting a scholarship. As far as living on campus, I already mentioned as a freshman, you're required to live on campus. After that, you could get an apartment with friends if you wanted to. But the dorms are really nice. They're very safe and modern. They have free Wi-Fi, free cable, and free laundry. And you can see the dorms. Here's an overview. They do have their own bathrooms, which is great. You won't have to share with a whole bunch of other students. You'd either share with 1 or 2 other students. So very nice, modern dorms. We also have a lot of services for international students because, again, it's a big transition to go from high school to university for all students. And then to be going from another country makes that a bit more of a challenge. So we do offer a lot of services for you. One of those are for students who start in our fall semester. There will be an orientation specifically for international students so you can figure out your way around campus, start meeting other international students and making friends, start meeting upperclassmen at NSU, and just kind of figuring out how things are. We have a lot of counseling and advising services for students as well. So if you're feeling sad, you miss home, you're scared about if you can handle the workload, whatever the case might be, there are services that can help you. You just have to reach out and ask for help, and there will be help there for you to make sure that you have a nice, smooth transition to NSU. And finally, we'll help you with immigration. If you're coming to the U.S. to study, you will need a student visa, which is called an F1 visa. And our Office of International Affairs will help you out with that process. Now, as far as our costs and our scholarships, which is very important, the tuition is $33,510 per year. But keep in mind when you're looking at tuition at U.S. universities, very few people are paying that because of scholarships. As you're all aware, scholarships exist. And what's nice at NSU is every student who applies for admission is automatically also applying for a scholarship, which is called our Dean Scholarship. And that scholarship can be from $5,000 per year to $19,000 per year. So as an example, you apply for admission, you're admitted to the university, and you're awarded, as an example, a $10,000 per year scholarship. That means that your tuition then, which you see here on the screen, would be $23,510 per year. There are 2 semesters, so those payments would be split into 2. And as far as our room and board, which means your dorm room where you'll be living and your meal plan, the average cost of that is $14,000 per year. But as you saw, there are different dorms you can choose from. So that cost can be a bit more or a bit less, depending on which dorm you choose. Now, as far as our admissions requirements, it's actually pretty simple. Students can start applying in the fall before they'd like to start. So example, if you want to start in August 2022, you can start applying in September 2021. So, students can basically already start applying for the fall 2022 semester. You just submit your application online, and our website's nova.edu. So www.nova.edu. You can find the online application there, submit that, and then we'll need a copy of your high school transcripts. Even if you haven't graduated yet, you can still submit those and be admitted based on what you've done up to the current point. If the transcripts are not in English, you will need an official translation to English. And then we'll need proof of English proficiency. So that can be a TOEFL exam, an IELTS exam, or I think a lot of students now, particularly with COVID, are taking the Duolingo exam, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. You can take it online from home. And we're looking for a score of 105 on Duolingo. We do not require SAT or ACT scores to be admitted, but you certainly can submit those if you've taken them and you've gotten good scores. You can submit those, and a really good score might help you get a bit more scholarship money. And as far as your grades, we're looking for 3.0 at a 4.0 GPA for freshman students. For students who are transferring from another university, we're looking for 2.6 at a 4.0 GPA. And if you are transferring from another university that's not a U.S. university, you will need to have your transcripts evaluated so we can see which classes would transfer to NSU. And finally, you can submit a letter of recommendation from a teacher. That's not required to be admitted or get a scholarship to NSU. But if you can get a good recommendation, certainly feel free to send that over to us after you've submitted your application. And so here is my email address if any of you have questions, and also our social media links. So if any of you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you're certainly welcome to do so. We'd love to have you do that. So thank you all very much for stopping by. I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation about Nova Southeastern University.